honey bunnies. I promised you a little while ago that I would show you my setup for a new spread that I designed a little while ago called the Cosmic Bond spread. And I described it in my update video as a kind of spread to delve into a deep connection, a connection that is obviously of great significance to you at the current time, a connection that is taking priority, or that is really coming into your line of sight as something that is intense, something that is going to teach you a lot of lessons potentially, something that feels really big. And I think if you're watching this video, you're probably one of those people that knows what I mean by this. You know, when a bond comes along, whether it's a friendship bond or romantic, and you just feel like, okay, something significant is going on here. You might have a particular bond in mind that you are experiencing right now in your life, and it could be romantic, it could be friendship, it could be something that you're not really sure what it is. It could be something that you already very much see as a soulmate connection. It could have been going on for a while, or it could be something that really has been going on for a very short space of time. I think in any direction, the Cosmic Bond spread would be good for quite a big cross section of these issues and these styles of relationship. So it's a 7-card spread, as you can see, and I'm going to talk you through each spread position. Before I get started, I just want to say this is not actually a reading for anyone. This is not a general reading. This is just a demonstration of the spread layout and each card that the spread contains. I have left a handy list of the spread positions below for you, so you can copy and paste that into a Word document if you like, or just jot it down in your notebook for your reference. Obviously, it's Valentine's Day, and I've chosen today of all days to showcase the Cosmic Bond spread. That is not an accident, that is very much on purpose, and so is the little frame of all of these different rose quartz pieces that I've got round about. I really thought it would be maybe a little obvious, maybe to some a little cliche, but to me, I love me some rose quartz in connection with anything romantic, anything to do with Valentine's Day, anything to do with connections in general. So without further ado, I'm going to talk you through the 7 positions for the Cosmic Bond spread, beginning up here in the top left corner with position number 1. This card is an illustration of the core energy of the bond, okay? So it's a snapshot of the energy that you two are creating together as a couple, as two people that are interacting with each other. So rather than this card looking into what your energy is that you're bringing to the equation, or what the other person's energy is that they are bringing to the equation, the kind of core energy of the bond, or the snapshot of the energy, if you like, is really the representation of how your energies and your vibrations and your ideas are meeting and interacting with each other. I really feel when I do relationship spreads of any kind that it's much more helpful for me to look at the energy that has been created through the connection itself, rather than look at what the other person, the absent third party, if you like, is thinking and feeling. I actually do not read for absent third parties. If you've ever been a client of mine and you've had any kind of relationship reading, you will know that I am very careful not to kind of delve into the other person's head, the person who's not getting the reading. But I do feel that it is possible, and it is very helpful to examine the energy that has been created by the relationship itself. I feel that a unique energy signature is created by the meeting and interacting of two people, and particularly when the relationship is very potent, when it is very significant or intense for one or both parties, I feel that the energy signature is really there to be picked up on, and it can be analysed, and we can examine it and we can think about it. So this first spread position, position number 1, is a snapshot of the energy that is being created by you both actually interacting with each other, or having some kind of a meeting with each other, or feelings for each other. The second spread position in the Cosmic Bond spread is what you may have to teach them. So now we're looking at what it is that you potentially could be showing to them, could be giving to them in the relationship. We're looking at what you are bringing to the table, what it is that you may have to show them about themselves. And this is where you really dive deep into what your role is in the relationship potentially, what you are bringing to the relationship in terms of your characteristics, the lessons that you've learned, and how you are actually going to play your part in the relationship. So this is really interesting because it's looking at you and it's focusing on you, but it's really looking at what you are showing to them through their eyes and their perspective, potentially, on what you could have to teach them, what you could have to offer them, what it is that you're really showing to them that could be of use to them. And then the third spread position is the other way around. So with this, we're looking at what they could potentially have to teach you. this is going to be something that you potentially might be much more conscious of as a concept, because you may already have figured out what it is that this person that's come into your life has to teach you at this time. You know, what it is that they are really showing to you. What are they mirroring inside of you? What might they potentially be bringing up in your shadow? What is it that they are reminding you of? What are they inspiring you to do? What are they motivating you to do? So I love these two cards, and they do form kind of a little match, a little couple in and of themselves. So the second spread position, what you have to teach them or show them, and then the third spread position, what they have to teach you or show you. I hope that you can really have fun with these two cards. And remember, if this spread is being used by you at a time when you've been with this person for a long time, or this person has been in your life for a long time, that really doesn't matter. I think as we evolve in our connections with people, we teach each other different things, and we have the opportunity to learn different things from each other. So if you are doing this spread with a view to looking at your partner that you've been married to for 40 years or whatever, that's fine. If you're doing this spread regarding a friendship that's been in your life for a decade, that's absolutely fine. As you two have evolved together and evolved on your own life journeys, you will find that you are showing different things to them, and they are showing and teaching different things to you. So it's always worthwhile checking in. So the cosmic bond spread is not just for people that have those fresh new connections. It's also for people that have had a really significant or intense connection for quite some time and want to check in. The fourth spread position in the cosmic bond reading is how to play your part to help the connection to flourish. So really we're looking at your accountability in the relationship. We're looking at how you can bring the best version of yourself to the relationship, and how you can really bring your strengths and your abilities, your key characteristics to the relationship to help it to really thrive, you know. Again, I don't read for the absent third party, and I really think it's always much more helpful to look at what you yourself can do. So for me, I would be looking at what the client could do to help the relationship to flourish. And if you choose to do this reading for yourself, you'd be very much looking at what you can do to bring your best strengths to the equation and make sure that you are being the best version of yourself to the greatest extent that you can be, so that you are really bringing your positivity to it. You're doing your part to help it to flourish and thrive. So this fourth spread position is really important, and it's really powerful. It's often packed with a lot of very high vibe instructional advice. The fifth spread position is looking at your strengths and superpowers as a duo. This is looking at what is really great about you as a couple. We're looking at what your strengths are together. We're looking probably at the very high vibe energies that you bring out of each other. We're looking at maybe what can be achieved by the two of you as a couple of people together, you know, working together, bringing both of your energies and strengths to the table. If you turn this card over and you find that it is a card that you potentially have a negative feeling towards, or you don't feel it's that positive, or you do feel instantly a very negative feeling from it, can I just let you know that I personally don't feel there's any such thing as a positive card or a negative card in tarot. I personally feel that if I'm drawing a card that's showing me what's positive about a connection, then the card will always give me some morsel of what could be positive about the connection, or what is currently positive about the connection. I do not believe that there are any hands down negative cards in a deck, in a tarot deck, or an oracle deck for that matter. I feel like there's so much of a spectrum of light and dark. There are so many different nuances and complexities to every card. There are so many different threads that we can draw upon. So if you do turn the card over and you see it as a negative card or a negative message, and you instantly think to yourself, okay, well that means that there's nothing positive about us as a couple, then I would really ask you to kind of sit back and ask yourself if that really is in alignment with your intuitive reading of the connection. It might be that you do feel that there is a lot of dark to this connection, and there are a lot of things that aren't quite right in the connection, and when you turn the card over you do get this instant feeling that there is not a lot of strength or positivity to draw on, and that is genuinely your intuitive reading. But I do feel for a lot of people that, you know, they do turn over a card sometimes and they do just instantly decide that it's negative because they have a preconception of that card itself, and I would definitely discourage that. You know, death is not a negative card, for example, in tarot. The Ten of Swords is not a negative card in tarot. Of course, they are big, powerful, punchy cards that say a lot of things about how change might be necessary, or about how unpredictable change might be on the horizon, or might be in your midst, or you might be dealing with chaos at the moment, you know. But that doesn't mean that the card itself is inherently scary or negative and has nothing to teach you. If you're resonating with the message that I'm giving at the moment as I'm speaking, then I will link you down below to the two very first videos videos that I ever did on YouTube, which are both videos about how to read quote unquote negative cards. Here are my little quotation marks there, negative cards. If you really feel like you need to get out of a rut with reading certain cards as inherently negative, please do go and check out those first two videos where I am quite a bit younger than I am now and a little bit stiff and nowhere near as comfortable with you guys. But it would definitely be worth a watch, you know, if you find that you do struggle with reading certain cards as negative. So again, with position number 5, you're looking at your strengths and superpowers as a duo. Moving on then to position number 6, this is actually again the complete opposite. So with card number 5, it's strengths and superpowers. With card number 6, it is weaknesses or downfalls. So here we're looking at what your pitfalls might be as a couple, what kinds of things might trip you guys up, what kinds of things might be causing significant problems or might be likely to cause problems for you in the future. We're looking really at whereabouts you might struggle. And the reason to look at this is not to be negative about things and not to be dismissive or apathetic about things, but really just to be aware of the fact that when two people collide on the road of life, they are colliding with all of their, you know, life journeys, emotional baggage, their prior experiences, their flaws, their nuances, their complex areas, their damaged parts, their wounds, their scars, etc. So of course it is a collision in many ways, and it can feel beautiful, it can feel amazing, it can feel so gorgeous, you know, it can really switch us on to what is so valuable about life, and it's a wonderful thing. But if we are doing it right, if we are having the relationship in a way that is healthy, then we are always trying not to project ideas of perfection onto each other. We are trying to accept each other as we really are, warts and all, okay? And that's what the 6th spread position is really about with the cosmic bond spread. We are trying to dive into what might be the weaknesses, what could be the pitfalls. We're being honest with ourselves about the fact that no relationship can be flawless, no relationship can be argument free, no relationship can be without its awkward bits and its yucky bits and its bits where we feel as like we're not so close or like we are experiencing misunderstandings or difficulties with communication. You know, it's really just about being honest about that stuff. And you will notice that I have chosen not to draw a card for you and a card for the other person. It's really about just looking at the energy of the connection overall, and it's down to you to intuit what this card means, whether it falls more on the side of your weaknesses and flaws, whether it falls more on the side of theirs, or whether it is just generally an interpretation of the way in which your energy itself as a couple could be fiery or could be problematic or could be steeped in miscommunication at times. I would definitely recommend that you avoid, like the plague, turning over this card and deciding that it is immediately representative of the other person's weaknesses or the other person's flaws. Make sure that you are not turning away from the work that you might need to do and the things that you might need to confront. And that is again why I've chosen not to do a card for your flaws and a card for their flaws or anything like that, because I don't like to read for the absent third party. I like to make it really as much about ourselves as possible, but I do also think that the energy of the connection itself can really hold a lot of complicated bits that might be useful to unpack, and it might not always be your flaws or your pitfalls or your weaknesses that are completely in the spotlight. So really we're choosing to look at the energy of the connection, and it's down to you to intuit what is meant by the card that comes along. Finally, the 7th spread position in the cosmic bond reading is how to move ahead positively. So it's really about looking at the future. So for example, if you want to get together with this person and you want a romantic connection with them and you're hoping that you'll be able to get that connection to flourish, then you could read this card as a consideration of what you could do to bring that into beingness, to be open about your desire to have that and to work towards that meaningfully. If you're hoping that your friendship lasts a lifetime and that you can deepen into the friendship and it can become more profound, then the 7th spread position is looking at what you can do to foster that, what you can do to nurture the friendship. If you've only just met this person and you're really just hoping that you're going to have quality time together so that you can really see where it's going to go and you can explore it more fully, the 7th spread position will be helping you to do that. So again, there's some instructional advice to be taken here. There's some actions that you can put into being to make sure that you're moving ahead positively according to your agenda. Now remember, of course, the other person has an agenda as well, and every single relationship is an act of co-creation. I know I don't need to teach you guys how how to suck eggs, okay? I know you know what I mean. So do read this card responsibly and recognise it as advice and instruction for you on how you can bring your best self to the proceedings and on how you can reach the outcome that you would desire. But always know that the other person may desire something different, and we've got to leave room for their free will to be in the equation as well. Again, I'm not going to teach you to suck eggs. I hope you have an amazing Valentine's Day, whether you're with someone or not at the moment, whether it's complicated, whether it's simple. I really hope that you have the best possible day, and remember, always bring self-love, not only to Valentine's Day, but to every single day. And before I finish up here, I want to let you know that the Cosmic Bond Spread is now available to purchase in my store. You can click over using the link below to check out the Cosmic Bond Spread purchase option, and I have made the first 5 into half price readings. So if you show up there and you find that the spread is still only costing £20, then you might want to add it to cart if you really are keen on the idea of me doing it for you, because it is half price. £20 is half price for a full length reading from me. So the first 5 will be half price. So if you want a little Valentine's Day present for yourself, go ahead and purchase. I would be delighted to read for you. Please bear in mind that your reading may not actually arrive on Valentine's Day, okay? You know, so it will go into a queue, but you can grab it today if you would like to make Valentine's Day special for you. And the first 5 are half price. I'm also doing a general flash sale today for Valentine's Day, so I'll also leave you the link below to my sale section where there are other relevant readings that are actually on sale too. Feel free to use these spread positions, tweak these spread positions, play around with them, build upon them. I'm perfectly happy with you doing that, but if you do choose to actually replicate these exact spread positions for a blog post, or you mention them in a video or anywhere else, if you talk about the Cosmic Bond Spread, I'd really appreciate a link back to this video or a shout out. That would be really awesome. Much love, guys. Blessed be.